What's up, y'all? It's Kamikaze MMA coming back to make another video. We're talking about the worst fight card in UFC history, baby. No, I'm just kidding. There's one fight on this card that saved it. One fight on the entire card. Let's get it started. I picked Josephine Knudsen. She won. Looked like terrible. It was a terrible fight. Striking was pretty good it was pretty equal, and then the other girl was better at grappling. I don't know how Josephine Knudsen won, but I got the pick right. She was better in the striking, though. She was. Melquizael Costa versus Shailin Nurnbeki. I picked Nurnbeki, but he just got it done. Costa got it done. Nurnbeki looked so good in he looked good. He looked great in the grappling, and then he just kind of quit. He just quit on himself, so that's cool. It's fun. It is what it is. Don't want to really talk too much about that. You know what I'm saying? It was a pretty good fight, though. Actually, Nuremberg looked pretty good in the grappling, and Costa looked pretty good in the grappling too. Besides the first 2 rounds, to be honest, the third round he looked pretty good though. And then this fight was pretty fun. This was the first fight where I was like, oh wow, this was actually a fun fight. Weston Wilson goes out there and gets a little beat up, and then he, pulls out a triangle armbar. It was pretty cool. His striking's atrocious, though. I don't know how it's that bad. I really don't. His striking is terrible. Carly Judice versus Gabriel Fernandez. I could be wrong. Nope, I'm not wrong. Carly Judice landed like 3 strikes for every 1 strike that Fernandez landed. But the difference is that Fernandez strikes counted for like 5 of Carly Judice's strike. And that was just the name of the fight. I don't know how she didn't get KO'd. I have no idea how she didn't get KO'd, but it is what it is. I mean, she survived. It was a pretty good fight, though. It was just weird. This whole card was kind of boring, though. Jimmy Flick almost submitted Nathan Maness a couple of times, but like I said, that was his only chance. Nathan Maness just is better. Like, that was the story of that fight. Moving up to the main card. Josh Quinlan quit on himself. I kind of think he won, though. The second and third round were swing rounds. The first round was definitely his, though. Just, he kind of gave up on himself and didn't look for the KO, but it is what it is. Adam Fuggett gets a decision victory. Neither of these dudes are that good. Asu Almabea versus Jose Johnson. Now, for this card, this fight was pretty damn good. Until the next fight we're about to talk about, alright? Asu Almabaev and Jose Johnson was a pretty good fight. Asu Almabaev was just on a different level. Jose Johnson was doing the reversals, but every time he'd get a reversal, he'd get right back and get reversed. You know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is. It wasn't a terrible fight, but it just wasn't it wasn't great. It wasn't great. Now, Brady Hiestand might be my new favorite fighter. This is the best fight I've ever seen in my life. It saved this entire card. God, this card was so terrible. Brady Hiestand, Garrett Armfield was fight of the night. 5,000,000% fight of the night. One of the best fights I've ever seen. Honestly, if it was on any other card, it might have been a little overshadowed by, some bigger names. But nothing happened on this card. No one had good fights. This was the best fight on this entire card. Brady Hiestand starts the fight off, wins the first round, doing pretty well, doing good in the grappling. Then he gets an armbar attempt. Deep. I was like, he's going to get fucking submitted in the first round. Come on. He gets out of the armbar. Like, damn, okay. He puts Garrett in a pretty deep guillotine. Now, his fight IQ. We need to talk about this. His fight IQ is close to 0, but that's okay. He could still be my favorite in this fight IQ, be close to 0. But this this man gets a full locked-in guillotine. Garrett Armfield rolls to his back to escape it. He doesn't go to mount. He takes the weirdest angle of like trying to keep guard while you're basically already in mount. He has his like arm all the way over, like himself. He's down on the ground. It was the weirdest position I've ever seen in MMA in my life. And MMA is a weird sport. I've seen some pretty weird positions. But yeah, Brady Hiestand gets it done in the third round. The second round gets dropped bad. Like, I mean bad, like out cold dropped. I was like, oh, well, he did okay. Sucks I didn't get the pick right, but it is what it is. Somehow survives. The ref, I think it was Chris Tione. I think Chris Tione might need to get fired after that one. That was a late stoppage. He survives. Brady Hiestand survives. Gets a rear naked choke, almost chokes him out. Maybe that was in the first. But maybe it was in the second. I can't remember now that I'm thinking about it. Almost chokes him out in the first or second with a rear naked. Super deep. Like under the chin. Like full crank. Somehow Garrett Armfield escaped every submission Brady put him in. Until the third round starts. And Brady just easily outstrikes him. For the end of the second round too. Easily outstrikes him. Beginning of the third. Easily outstrikes him. Takes him down. And then chokes him out like it's nothing. It was a weird fight, but it was the best fight I've ever seen in my life. I got so amped. When Brady Hiestand won, that saved my life. Alright, let's move on. Timothy Kumba versus Lucas Almeida. So let's go. So we get a great fight, and then we get someone I've never heard of versus someone I've never seen fight. And let me just say, neither of these dudes are that good. Another thing, Timothy Kumba, this was his first fight in the UFC, right? No, he had a loss. Okay. Timothy Kumba is terrible. He's really bad. Unfortunately. He has a heart on him, though. He almost beat Lucas Almeida in the last minute of the fight, but he's bad, man. He didn't shoot for a single takedown unless he got dropped. So, weird. It was a weird decision-making process for him, but it is what it is. Anyways, Lucas Almeida wins. Pretty good striking performance, though, but I still don't think he's good. Anyways, moving up. Tatsuro Taira versus Alex Perez. Oh, sorry. Douglas Silva D'Andrade versus Miles Johns. One of the commentators said he looked like Dan Henderson, just trying to throw the overhand. It's kind of what it was like. Douglas Silva D'Andrade looked like he's never had a fight in his life. He looked like he was just like they put someone on speed just in the octagon, and that's what happened. Who's watched a lot of UFC fights but never fought. Miles Johns gets the victory. Douglas Silva D'Andrade, they were landing about at the same clip. Let me see those significant to total strikes. I mean, it says Miles Johns has like 20 more, but it really just looked like Miles Johns' shots just hurt 10 times more, were 10 times harder. And Douglas Silva D'Andrade was on Bambi legs for basically the whole fight, but it was just the way he was fighting. It wasn't even like he was hurt. It was a weird fight. Alex Perez and Tatsuro Taira ends in a sad little knee pop. The fight was boring until then. I couldn't tell you who was winning. Alex Perez was just landing shots, but Tatsuro Taira looked like none of the shots even affected him. It didn't even move his head. Like, it would, full on boom, and he'd just go. Full on hooks. It was weird. But anyways, he shoots one takedown and then pops his knee basically instantly. So, good shit, Tatsuro Taira. I think that's a valid win. The grappling looked like on a completely different level. So, I'm excited for what's next for Tatsuro Taira. I want to see Brady versus Miles Johns. I think that's a good fight to make next. I think Garrett Armfield's better than Miles Johns. And I think Brady Hiestand is more likely to get knocked out by Miles Johns. So that's a interesting fight. I think that's the next one to make. Not much to talk about this card. Pretty terrible, pretty lackluster. Brady Hiestand single-handedly saves the card. Y'all have a good night. Peace out.